So Taylor Guitars decided to ditch Elixir to the new XS D'Addario guitar strings, and that is huge news. So hello everybody and welcome to a new video and welcome to my channel where we talk about everything music from death metal to Queen and everything in between. First of all, since I know a lot of you guys are just gonna watch like the beginning of the video or just skim through, let me start by asking you, if you like the content, please drop me a like and drop me a comment in the comment section down below. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like and man if you haven't yet. And if you find any value on the channel and you want to help support the channel, please go visit my Patreon. A little goes a long way. We surely do appreciate it. So check it out. In case you didn't know, Taylor Guitars is one of the biggest manufacturers of acoustic guitars in the whole world, and they make some of the best acoustic guitars around. They're one of my favorite guitar brands, and I was lucky enough to actually go visit the factory back about 10 years ago when I was a guitar department manager at Sam Ash. So yeah, I was actually one of the lucky chosen few that actually got to go to the Taylor factory, and we actually got to tour the factory, and we got the tour from Bob Taylor himself. Class act. He actually paid for flights, dinner, hotel rooms, and he was awesome enough to give us this book, and he actually signed mine right here. Bam. So yeah, Bob Taylor, really cool guy in my book. Of course, I was already into Taylor guitars and I had to sell, a hefty amount of guitars to actually be able to go on this trip. And you can't really do that unless you actually believe on the product, which I did. So yeah, I was very familiar with Taylor. But on this trip, I actually got the chance to actually talk to Bob Taylor and ask him a lot of questions one-on-one. So one of the first things that came out was the partnership with Elixir. Because back then, and I don't know if they still did it till recently, whenever you bought a Taylor guitar, it would actually have a tag that would say that it came equipped from factory with Elixir acoustic guitar strings. Of course, some of you know that I am actually a D'Addario guitar string artist, but because of the way the Taylor acoustic guitars played and sounded, I became a huge fan of Elixir acoustic guitar strings. But don't worry about it, D'Addario knows this. They're not just finding this out because of this video. So of course I was shocked to find out that Taylor actually said bye-bye to these guys and decided to go with these guys instead. So immediately I got in contact with my friendly D'Addario artist rep and I asked him, hey, do you think I could try out some XS acoustic guitar strings on my guitar and maybe make a video comparing these strings with the Elixirs? And he's like, sure, I'll send you some. I love 11 to 52 because I like to be able to bend, but what came standard on Taylor guitars and most acoustic guitars, it's 12 to 56 gauge. That's standard on them. So yeah, also it's going to be really hard to record and mic it up and have everything be exactly the same. So I'm not even gonna try. What I'm going to do is I'm just gonna keep this mic open. I'm gonna play guitar the way I always do. No gimmicks, no BS, and I'm just gonna tell you what I think of these strings as compared to these guys right here, which are again my favorite acoustic guitar strings of all time. But I'll tell you what though, when somebody asked, I don't remember who, Bob Taylor, about why all the Taylor guitar strings came with Elixir strings from factory, he said, well, basically attention to detail. We just want to use the finest materials out there and make sure that our guitars stay in tune and sound as best as they can. So I gotta tell you, I am really excited to try these out, because if Bob Taylor decided to switch from Elixirs to this, these have to be awesome. But we'll see. Alright, so for this video, since I had to sell my Taylor guitar, we're going to use my trusty old Gibson CSR, which has a solid spruce top and rosewood back and sides. And it sounds like this with Elixir strings on it. Sounds great, doesn't it? Also for this video, I am going to use Dunlop USA picks 0.58 in thickness, and these strings are 11 to 52. Elixir's nano web, not poly web. I prefer the nano webs. And I actually like 11 to 52 because I like to be able to bend. Things I'm going to have to take into consideration is the feel. I love the way they feel. They're coated, so you don't get a lot of that, rattling noise. And also they last forever because they're coated. They will actually die off before they rust, which is something I really enjoy. I mean, I change strings because they're dead, because they sound like crap, and I've used them and abused them for a long time, and not because they rust. So that's a great thing. Alright, so let's pop these on and let's see what they sound like. I'm going to try to sit on the same position I am now, and I always play this way. I'm going to leave my footrest exactly where it is so that I can move my chair to back off of here, and then I'm going to sit on the same exact spot, or as close as possible, and play the same way. So just bear with me. Let me change the strings on this real quick, and I'll see you in a minute.
12 seconds later.
By the way, I just ruined a perfectly good set of Elixir strings, which are not cheap, for this video. So if you guys want to show me your appreciation, you know what to do. Drop me a comment in the comment section down below. Hit that thanks button if you can. And if you really want to contribute to the channel, please consider becoming a patron to the channel. A little goes a long way. We surely do appreciate it. Alright, so here we go. Same guitar, different strings. Now, the Gibson guitar's got the XS D'Addario strings on it, and it now sounds like this. Oh, by the way, I did have to move the camera, so it might look a little off because I needed to change the battery on it. Actually, I needed to charge the battery on it because it ran out of battery. So it might look a little off, but I'm on the same spot, same position. I haven't changed anything. There's no EQing, straight into the mic. I should sound the same. And the guitar now sounds like this. Alright, first impressions, it definitely sounds brighter. But you know what? It actually sounds fuller too. I can hear the 4th and the 5th string a little bit more. I like him. And actually, they do feel less coated than the Elixir nanowebs, which are the less coated ones of the Elixirs. You have the nanowebs and the polywebs. Polywebs have more coating. Yeah, they actually sound nice. I was actually a little bit skeptical because I actually tried out the EXPs, which are actually my favorite electric guitar string ever, the EXP D'Addario strings. And I tried the EXPs coated acoustic guitar strings, and I didn't care for them. I totally just stayed with the Elixirs because they sounded great. These feel a little bit like the EXPs, but they sound different. I mean, let me rephrase that. They feel more like the EXPs than the Elixirs, but they sound more like the Elixirs than the EXPs, if that makes any sense. They're not as bright as the Elixirs, but they sound a little bit fuller and definitely a little bit louder than the Elixirs. Do I like them better? That's a tough question. I love the Elixir acoustic guitar strings, but these sound actually really good. Tough choice. I like the way they sound, probably from memory right now a little bit better than the Elixirs, but I like the feel of the Elixirs, especially on the low strings, a little bit better because they're coated a little bit more. But I think these strings actually feel more like non-coated strings than the Elixirs. So if you're not a big fan of how Elixir guitar strings feel, these might be the right strings for you. I don't know how long these are gonna last, but another thing I really enjoy about these strings is the fact that, you know, they stay in tune. Once you stretch them out, they're good to go. I mean, I've been playing and I haven't retuned at all. So yeah, that's awesome. Are they really just as good as the Elixirs? Probably. I mean, they feel different and they sound different, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. They're not as bright as the Elixirs, so they actually have more of a balanced tone. I do like bright strings personally, but that's just me. I'm just so used to this guitar sounding one way that it's just kind of hard for me to just get used to the way it sounds, but it doesn't sound bad at all, as you can tell. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and that it was helpful for you. Just drop me a like if you did, drop me a comment in the comment section down below, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel like a man if you haven't yet. I'll see you guys next time. Pot out, metal on, dudes.